JESNA is a very unique organization. I see it culturally as being free of holding on to old patterns. I see it as able to look at what is and perhaps what will be.
Fields need thought leadership. And that's what JESNA brings to Jewish education in a way that really doesn't happen in any other way. And it's a whole systems view.
My family really believes that JESNA has the potential with their big ideas to really challenge communities to try something different, to break out of the mold of what worked in the past so that more people can have the kind of Jewish experience that really reaches the promise of Judaism.
How do we create the Jewish education for the 21st century that will allow Jewish life to continue to thrive? We know how to take the work that's being done across the Jewish education system and to figure out what's working, what isn't working as well as it should, and how we can do it even better.
To me, JESNA is a field builder. It looks at everything that's going on in the field of Jewish education and tries to help raise the level for all boats.
So as it serves a lot of communities, we're now at the point where we're able to manage and to run an organization that serves the whole country.
I think the evolution of JESNA to being a real leadership organization in the field of Jewish education is paramount. I'm particularly proud of the impact of some of the programs that our honorees have enabled us to promote, including the Liner Interns, the Grinspoon Steinhardt Awards for Excellent Jewish Educators, and the Lippmann Camphor Institute.
As I grew up, I literally knew nothing about what it took to be Jewish. It was my kids. My kids brought everything to me. You know, they were in the schools, they sang the songs. They were learning what I didn't know.
Real Jewish learning takes place at home. And so really what happened was my mom didn't have the same opportunities we did.
Sunday ice cream, Monday.
What we must do is make the Jewish world so exciting and valuable to the young people around that they will never want to leave it. There are many, many opportunities to live a Jewish life, but I think if you get grounded in a valuable way that's going to serve you throughout your life, it's got to start young.
People wonder, you know, what is being Jewish all about? And I see it really, you know, a lot of people talk about tikkun olam and repairing the world. And I think that's just like the perfect metaphor about what we do in Judaism, about teaching to our children, about making the world a better place.
There's just a sense of pride and involvement, and I think probably everyone who's involved in Jewish education knows that we can talk a lot of theory, we can do a lot of things, but you see a smiling face singing Hatikva, and it's all there.
I always brought everything back home, so when it was Purim time, we'd all bake hamantashen, and when it was Passover, we had huge Passover seders with 60 to 80 people, and you know, living it every day, doing all those activities. That's kind of what, to me, being Jewish is it's part of the home life, and it's not something you actually teach, it's something you live and do.
And then when I got involved in the school, I saw its impact on so many other kids, and I sort of fell in love again with the opportunity to try to play some small part in making Jewish education better across the continent.
Everything that he does kind of comes from this place that if you don't know what it means to be Jewish, if you don't know your Jewish values, then how can you live them?
He definitely is a role model for us and striving to help more people and change the system, improve the system, and reach as many people as we can. Hashem wants us to be the best we can be as an individual, and my dad taught me that, and I want to teach my children that.
I remember my parents founding Heschel Day School. It started in their living room, in their dining room.
I had the memories from Mexico of the day school I went to, and I decided with a group of people here to do that, and we started putting together a school, and it just worked out beautifully. The school took off, and people wanted to join, and Since then, that's all I do is Jewish education.
Who's next?
Next year, in 2012, we have 2 bar mitzvahs right here.
7th grade, 6th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade, and 3rd grade in our family at Heschel, consecutive grades at Heschel.
And all of us are having fine education.
Thank you for saying that.
I'm very interested in Jewish education. I'm involved here at my kids' school, as my wife is and as my sister is. And maybe someday my brother will be involved too. What I'd like for my kids is to get the Jewish values that they wouldn't otherwise get. Things like tikkun olam. It's really important that they get those Jewish values.
Maybe the greatest reward of my involvement in Jewish life is that I'm able to do it with my family. I can't imagine anything better than grappling with the issues of Jewish life with your children and trying to aspire to do something about it.
Inspired by the foresight and imagination of our 3 honorees and their families, JESNA's Fund for the Future can be an accelerator of innovation.
The Fund for the Future will enable us to jumpstart the innovative kinds of programs that we would like to see in order to create the Jewish education of the future.
It's trying to look at innovative ideas and put seed money in, perhaps to be matched by other donors in order to get people to be a little bit more willing to take a chance on a new idea in Jewish education.
We want to be in a position to help new ideas at the difficult moments when they need to have the most help, which is right at the beginning. Give them a chance to prove themselves, give them a chance to show that they're viable, and then we can send them on their way.
So we're going to partner with a number of others in building a fund that will be really seed capital that will help local communities practice learning new ways of engaging and teaching people.
When she told me about this venture philanthropy idea and involving the children, I mean, my story is all about my kids. That excites me.
I just think that's the most amazing thing. There's always this tension in Judaism between the old traditional ways and how each generation is going to discover Torah in its own way.
I think the multi-generational aspect of it is wonderful because you have people who have a history in the Jewish community and with Jewish education. Myself, I have children in a Jewish school, and so we're involved in Jewish education presently. So we have a good vision toward the future.
I think the Fund for the Future is an essential aspect of it. 80% of Jewish money goes non-Jewish. And part of that is because they're never asked to give Jewish money. Because if you were very bright and you made money, don't you want that same sense of genius to be part of what you want to do with your wealth? So I think people with wealth welcome the opportunity to find a good place to put their money.
It's very hard to be a risk taker in today's world. But when a fund starts with something successful and can show that first early success, then that leverages the dollars. And it's amazing how everyone wants to be part of something that's already been proven successful.
There are a lot of great people out there in the Jewish educational world. If we can pull together what they've learned with what we've learned, and then feed it back to the people who really want to create the next generation of programs, that's a JESNA that I feel will continue to be making a great contribution.
I care deeply about Jewish education, and JESNA has the right people and the right strategy to really have an impact on improving Jewish education more than any other organization at the national level.
I am really interested in my children understanding what's important to me, which is Jewish education, which in some way will involve them and maybe even their children and maybe their children's children. Who knows?
It's not really about me, it's really about my children. So I have 2 kids, Eden and Elias. They're 6 and 3. This is about their future.
My father and I and my sister and other family members are building I think ways of working together that we expect and really hope will translate down to the next generation.
And right here we have 3 generations, and we are looking forward as the kids grow up for them to contribute and to participate in the same kinds of things that we're doing, albeit in their own way.
I think that JESNA is going to continue to stay ahead of the wave, to really lead the future for innovation, to continue to recreate ourselves and to continue to grow and to continue to show that leadership potential.
What do we do? It's not our duty to finish the job, but we have to persist with it, and it's like leaving a legacy. Specifically in the way that we can teach our children the underlying Jewish concepts that we can pass on from generation to generation.